Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a video that I should have done ages ago, but I couldn't get through this book. So, I was reading Once and Future for like over a month. This is the cover. If you hear any background noises, it's because we have people on our roof. And yeah, it's slightly annoying, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, for the past month and like a half, I've been reading Once and Future, and honestly, it was such a chore to read. I feel like I could have gotten through it faster if it was much better. Now, I mean, I have nothing against Amy and Corey. It was just that their book was terrible. Okay. So, on Goodreads, I gave this 1 star. So let me explain what Once and Future is. Once and Future is a sci-fi dystopian universe based around the King Arthur tale. This is the gender-bent version of the King Arthur tale, and she's also pansexual. So a female King Arthur named Ari. So Ari Helix, also known as Ara Azar, she is supposed to resemble a illegal immigrant in this dystopian future universe. And she is on a planet that is ruled by this company called Mercer. And Mercer has a thing against her and her family because they took in an illegal immigrant when they weren't supposed to. And they have been running since Mercer, since the family got Ari and took her in. And the mothers, they get separated from the family because they get taken by Mercer. So it's just Ari and Kay left. One day, Ari, while she's on this planet, I don't remember which planet it was, there are too many planets in this universe, in the galaxy actually, she takes this sword that she finds out of the wooden stump, and it wasn't even hard to get out of the stump. We later on find out that this is King Arthur's sword. And then Merlin the Wizard is woken up from his sleep because somebody took the sword out of the stump. And now it is his mission to find his King Arthur. The only slight difference is he thinks that King Arthur is a male and not a female. Well, he finds out that he is wrong and finds Ari on one of the moons and is like, "Arthur?" And she was like, "No." So he's explaining her mission, and she's denying everything that he's saying. She doesn't want to believe that she's King Arthur. She thinks he's some nut job that just got drunk at the bar. And then this woman shows up, and she does not like the fact that Merlin is training these King Arthurs, because she thinks it's all foolishness and there's no hope in ending the cycle. The mission that Merlin was told that King Arthur needs to have finished is find Arthur, train Arthur, defeat the evil or something like that, and unite humankind. Merlin thinks that Ari is the perfect person to defeat Mercer and unite humankind, to stop the cycle and make Merlin stop aging backwards. When Merlin woke up this time, I forgot to mention Ari is the 42nd reincarnation of King Arthur, so he's went to sleep every time the Arthurs die. When Merlin woke up this time, he finds out that he's 17, and he keeps on aging backwards every time he wakes up. So he's afraid that he will soon fade out of existence, and there will be no point in trying to end the cycle. So he's desperate for Ari to defeat Mercer. And then she takes him to their ship, and everybody's like, who is this? Why is he on our ship? He shouldn't be here. You really trusted him? He just blew up a planet. And he's like, no, it was a moon. But they don't trust him whatsoever, but Ari, for some reason, feels deep in her heart that she needs to trust Merlin to defeat Mercer, and she needs to get her family back, and she needs to go back to her home planet, which is called Ketch, but she is actually, I don't remember what ethnicity she's supposed to resemble. The only thing I really know is that Ari's ethnicity was one that has a lot of issues in the community because they're seen as terrorists, and, you know, just because there are some terrorists that are that ethnicity. So Ari struggles with herself because she knows she's different. She knows, like, she's not supposed to be here. She knows she's the reason why Kay's mothers got taken away. But she goes on this quest with Merlin, and they're going to defeat Mercer. So if you want to find out what happens, read Once in the Future or watch the rest of my review. So this is going to contain spoilers. The first thing I didn't like with this story was that every character, well, not every, but almost every character in this book is part of the LGBT community. And now, some representation is good, because we need more LGBT books, we need more struggles, we need, well, not struggles, but you know what I mean. We need a realistic LGBT story. That's why we have contemporary novels. But this is a sci-fi, fantasy, gay fanfiction, basically. And I have nothing against Amy and Corey. I love the fact that they are inclusive with their story. But when you think about it, every side character is basically LGBT, and they have no personality whatsoever. They're basically bland. Now Merlin has some personality, but, I mean, his personality basically is referencing pop culture every 5 seconds, referencing this era pop culture, mind you. You think for a wizard who's been alive for centuries upon centuries, he would quote more from past centuries, not like the early 2000s or like the 90s, but that's what he's basing it off of. There was one part where he mentioned Beethoven, but that's it. Merlin is stuck in the 2000s, basically. He's a gay wizard that is 17 and rants about his hormonal issues every 5 seconds. And by every 5 seconds, I mean, like, every 2 pages. Because I had to read so much about Merlin being gay in this book, you would think it was a fan fiction written by an 11-year-old. And the main character is pansexual. Good, you could have left it there. You could have been like, Ari, she's a girl and she's pansexual. Good, gender bent, pansexual character. Representation, 100. But no, Corey and Amy were like, oh, we gotta have every set of the LGBT community. We have an asexual character, we have a bisexual character, we have a pansexual character, we have a gender fluid character, we have a non-binary character. Did I say asexual? Yeah, I think that was one of the first things I said. And then we have gay characters. Like, there was so much representation that you would think it's shoving the LGBT community in your face. And you would think, for some book that has so much representation in it, it would have had in the description that it's an LGBT-based book. But no, nowhere in the description does it say that there's even slight LGBT, and that it doesn't, like, I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't say in the story that the LGBT community really impacts the story, because one of the characters, they go by they, them. Now, Merlin is a wizard. He goes by what he sees. So if you look like a girl, he's like, oh yeah, this must be a girl. He has no clue about, like, I don't know, even then, Merlin had to apologize and say that he came from a society that was based off of the anatomy of people. That's still how the society is. And he's like instantly regretting saying, oh, this guy is a great knight. And everybody's like, whoa, use the pronouns they, them. What is wrong with you? You're absolute scum. Like, just say, hey, they, them, yes, please. But you can't, like, I really felt bad for Merlin in that situation. Like, this is a gay fan fiction. Like, I was feeling bad for a character because they had to apologize for, I don't know. Yes, apologize for misgendering somebody, but, I mean, like, he had to redeem himself seconds after. No, even days after, because they were like, I don't know about this dude. He misgendered our friend, so he's automatically a bad person. That's not how society works. But in this society, every LGBT character is accepted, and they have no discrimination. They love the LGBT community, and they, like, are highly accepting, which you can tell that's a fantasy book right there, because even in the future, I don't think everyone is going I don't think everybody in the future is going to be accepting of that. So, obviously, it's fantasy. I just think that Amy and Corey put in what they wanted to put in and didn't think about how the community would react. Now, how James Patterson managed to think that this was publishable worthy, I don't know. But what I do know is this had a lot of issues with it. It was a problematic book, and it was just one of the worst books that I've ever read, and I'm being truthful about that. The only thing that I really could say was good about it is there was some diction in there that you could tell it was very descriptive. You could envision it in your mind, and it was easy to understand. Now, other times, you're just sitting there like, what are you talking about? Like, are you speaking English? Because it sounded like made-up words, and I don't know. But the fact that everybody had this basic vocabulary, and I don't even think Merlin had an enhanced vocabulary, and he's a wizard. He's like all-knowing. He should be, I don't know, he should be an intellectual. I don't know. I just feel like there was a lot of overrepresentation, low vocabulary. There was a lot of filler chapters that added no meaning to the story. It was just like, it was as black as my soul on a dark, dreary night. And today we are going to defeat the company. It seemed like a bunch of LGBT edgy kids going and trying to defeat this evil company. It had more, like, romance in it than science fiction. And you know what? I love science fiction, I really do. I love romance, I really do. But when you mix them together, and you mix them together with poor writing skills, you get this. And nobody wants that. I really hope that the second book that's coming out next year is way better than this one, because I had a hard time trying to read this book. But I wanted to finish it so I could do a review on this. And honestly, the end of the story, towards the end of the story, was good. Now the beginning and middle was bad. And also the fact that in the description of the book, they say that they have space dragons. Space dragons. They're not in space. They're on Ari's home planet. I mean, yeah, like, would you call them space dragons if they're on Earth? No, they would be called dragons. And the fact that they felt the need to go, oh, what do we need in space? Dragons. It's just, it's so dumb. I don't know what much to say about this book other than it was very hard to read. And it kept, like, it took me a month to read this. I have many books on my shelf back there, and it would take me, like, maybe 2 weeks to finish it, or, like, even less than that. But this was just so horrible that I could not stand reading it. I felt like I was wasting my time. But anyways, enough ranting. That's my review on Once and Future. If you really think that this book seems good, then go ahead and read it. But I'm telling you, you should read, like, better books than that. Like Dear Evan Hansen. I haven't read that one yet, but I think that might be the next one that I pick up. Or Monday's Not Coming. That was one of my favorites. I love Monday's Not Coming. Or The Hate You Give. If you want LGBT representation, go to books about LGBT representation that say it's about LGBT representation. Not a gay fan fiction that ruins characters. Thank you for watching. See you soon. I don't know when I'm gonna next upload. It might be a Femoids guide. I might do cooking. I might do another e-girl Femoids guide. Who knows? See ya.